Hey everybody, hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue with part 6 of what if Peter Parker or Spider-Man was born in the Dragon Ball Z world. And as always, before we begin, I'm OG Brown Nerd. If you're a fan of anime, Marvel, DC, basically anything nerdy, you should subscribe because I talk about everything. Imperfect Cell marches towards the Z Fighters and 18 remains frozen in the air as Peter yells at her to escape. He tells Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien to get her out of here now. Peter rushes in as Cell chuckles. The symbiote Gero warned him about. Peter begins desperately landing shots as Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks all back him up, but it doesn't matter. Cell opens his mouth and lets out an agonizing scream as Peter loses control of the symbiote and it withdraws back inside of him. You see, Gero equipped Cell with a special frequency to disrupt symbiotes. He tail whips Peter, knocking him into the fighters, and blasts off after Android 18, tracking her down with relative ease. Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha try their best to hold him off, but it doesn't matter. Cell grabs Android 18. He absorbs her and begins screaming as he grows larger and perfect. Perfect Cell then looks at the Z Fighters before chuckling, and he raises his fingers up to end them, but Peter, Goku, and Vegeta rush down. All dressed in black? No, wait, Symbiote Goku and Vegeta join the battle, the alien driving their Saiyan rage into unbearable levels as they roar and rush Cell. Cell opens his mouth to do the same cry as before, but Peter quickly webs his mouth shut and Peter allows Venom to take over, fully fusing himself with the symbiote. Venom Peter loses control and begins pummeling Cell as he keeps his mouth shut. Goku and Vegeta keep landing hit after hit on Cell and they're actually damaging him. The symbiote power boost is absolutely insane. Their energy takes on a purplish hue as they begin transforming into a new version of Super Saiyan. The Symbiote Saiyan form is born, and the malice emanating off of them is reminiscent of Frieza. Venom Peter then reaches down into Cell's throat and rips out his vocal modulator, preventing the screech as Cell shoves them back with a key explosion. He's actually hurt. These symbiotes, these infected vile creatures dare touch his perfection? Good thing the doctor left him a little parting gift. Cell then opens his tail as a red symbiote crawls out and bonds with him, transforming him into Cell Carnage Max. He becomes a pure bulldozer as Cell is completely different now. He's lost his attitude and has become Carnage incarnate. Him and Venom lock into an epic struggle with neither of them giving an inch. Cell sneers "Father" as Venom and Peter roar at him. Goku and Vegeta then begin attacking his back, but Carnage Cell has weapons all over. The symbiote fights the two of them while Cell is focused on Venom in front of him. A true perfect symbiotic bond. Gohan, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin watch in awe as the battle continues in escalation. The energy emanating off the fighters is coming in waves. Trunks tells them that they need to find a way to depower Cell to make him lose his symbiote. Goku, Vegeta, and Peter could beat him if they remove his carnage, but how? Raditz has had enough of this. The only way to beat Cell is to get his own symbiote power. He rushes into the battle, yelling at Peter to share the symbiote with him as well. Let him join Vegeta and Kakarot. Together, they can win. But Venom then locks eyes with Raditz and he only sees the man who killed his uncle as he abandons Carnage and begins attacking Raditz. Goku and Vegeta face off against Cell as Raditz falls to Venom. Peter roars, yelling, "You killed my uncle," and Raditz gets stabbed as his life energy begins fading, his eyes shocked as he says Peter's name. And then he does the unthinkable and apologizes, telling Peter he never said sorry for taking his uncle away from him. He understands what it must have been like, and this breaks through Venom's rage, enough for Peter to break a piece of himself off to venomize Raditz. Once Raditz is healed, the two join Goku and Vegeta as they begin battling Cell. Meanwhile, Trunks, Gohan, and the Z Fighters were working on a plan. If the three of them can all do a Kaioken times 50 solar flare, it might be hot enough to burn the symbiote off of Cell. Trunks will use his brightest attack, a Final Flash, and Gohan and Piccolo will do a Kamehameha and Special Beam Cannon combo, and that should be enough to burn Carnage off of Cell. Venom, Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz all slam Cell into the ground as the Z Fighters all leap up and yell out, "Solar Flare, Kaioken times 50." Focusing all on Cell as Gohan, Trunks, and Piccolo launch their beams, and the symbiote begins melting and dying, but even then they still have Perfect Cell to deal with. Venom webs Cell up into the air and flings him hard, while Raditz flies in with a massive knee to his stomach as Cell begins vomiting out Android 18. As he begins depowering, Goku and Vegeta fly in, uppercutting him, causing him to vomit out Android 17. And as Imperfect Cell flies through the air, the Z Fighters all charge their ki for a massive blast that destroys the Menace once and for all. Now this all seems well and good until Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz all begin losing themselves to the symbiote. Peter is already gone, lost in the rage, unable to find his way back to his humanity. They begin launching at the Z Fighters, and Trunks and Piccolo begin holding them off while Tiencha refuses joining the battle. They don't want to hurt their friends, but they need to get the suit off of them. Krillin then takes away Android 17 and 18 alongside Gohan. They might have anti-symbiote data in them. If anyone can help, it's Bulma. Bulma quickly grabs the androids and she scans them, finding out Jiro's secrets. Bulma also scans Peter's uploads of the hard drive for Perfect Cell. She's hoping between all of these things and all this information that there'll be a way to save her friends. She might be able to upgrade the androids to fight the Symbiote Saiyans. Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Peter try to venomize the Z Fighters, but they all quickly use ki shields to protect themselves. They try to do their solar flare techniques, but the symbiotes all watched and learned and avoid these attacks. They eventually break out of the Z Fighters' grasp and fly off into the city, causing mayhem. People get infected by the symbiotes everywhere, and it's a freaking infestation at this point. The whole world is going to be infected if they don't hurry. Trunks tries to help out, but all he sees are flashes of what his future was, except this time it's so much worse. A world without humans, only symbiotes that are mindless drones? What has he done? This is all his fault. If he hadn't time traveled. Bulma then asks Krillin if he's sure that she should do this, because these androids, they're the ones that killed the future. Krillin tells her if she doesn't do this, then there will be no future to protect. These androids, whether they like it or not, are the only hope they have. She adds in the modifications, sonic blasts, and frequencies that Cell use so they can remove and destroy the symbiotes once and for all. Bulma is now the only one capable of saving the world as she works diligently on Android 17 and 18. She logs into the Android system, opening them up, and begins changing the Spider Slayer protocol into the Symbiote Slayer protocol. 17 and 18 become faster and stronger, as well as being equipped with everything they need to destroy the symbiotes. Meanwhile, Krillin stands guard outside of Capsule Corps as the city's population falls, and Kami watches down in horror. All of the Z Fighters gather with Krillin to defend Capsule Corp. This is their last stand. If they fall here, this is it. Gohan knew Peter shouldn't have used the suit again. The malice Frieza left, coupled with the alien's own evil nature, has left him completely susceptible to the takeover. Now this is kind of adapting the Metal Cooler type of story with the infinite symbiotes. I hope you guys like that. And with Frieza's evil pushing the symbiotes, he's kinda back and kinda not. His desire for conquest is what's fueling the symbiotes as Goku, Vegeta, and Peter march on Capsule Corps. This is humanity's last chance. If Bulma can't complete the androids, they lose. But then Trunks realizes he has a time machine in his pocket. He can go back. But before he can think, the symbiotes are on them, and the final war for humanity's future has officially begun. They all decide to target Venom, as he seems to be the one giving them the instructions. But the Z Fighters don't really stand a chance against the Symbiote Saiyan form. There's nothing they can really do. Gohan then steps in front of everybody. He will be the Earth's champion. He tells his friends to go protect Bulma and he'll hold them off as he transforms into Super Saiyan. He then lets out an agonizing cry as he powers up into a Kaioken. Boosting the Saiyan form to its absolute limits, he might stand a chance. He continues yelling multipliers, ×2, ×3, ×4, eventually ending off with a ×5. The strain on his young body is overwhelming, but he knows he has to do this if the world is going to stand a chance. And with that being said, guys, we're going to end this part off right here, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Peace.